Hello and welcome to Spooning with me, Mark Wogan. Now, as you regular listeners know, I am joined each week by a special guest here at the Mount Street restaurant, where head chef Jamie Shears cooks up a couple of spoons of something that my guest thinks they love and something they think they hate. The difference is they will, of course, be wearing the blindfold. Now, my guest this week is a very special individual. She is responsible for why there are so many chefs on TV. Okay. She has been producing television for years, and great TV that you see every Saturday morning. She is, of course, the producer of Saturday Kitchen, but she's here to talk about other things as well. Will you please welcome Amanda Ross?
Thank you. Well, I'll have to be, I'm so excited about this anyway. I couldn't be more excited. I've been like a giddy goat all morning. But after that, I can't do anything but be lovely to you, can I?
Well, that's the idea, and I'm going to be lovely to you. But obviously, at some point, I will blindfold you and feed you food.
Do you know what was lovely about that introduction? You didn't say how many years, so it's like you can keep guessing at my age.
The years just pass. We don't need to focus on that. I think we focus on the body of work, which is extraordinary. So Saturday Kitchen is about to be 18.
Yes, it is.
And that, how many TV shows run for that long?
Well, apart from your dad's. Not many, actually. No, they don't. So not every week, because we're week in, week out. We're 52 weeks a year on Saturday, and we're on Sundays because we have Best Bites as well. So 52 weeks a year.
That is your longest running show.
Yes.
But you've produced so many other things that...
I keep things going for a long time because I change them up as I go along.
And what you manage to do with the shows that you produce is really focus on things that people are passionate about.
Oh, I try.
So... For example, the Richard and Judy show that then developed into the Richard and Judy Book Club. Yeah,
that was one of the sort of strands on the show,
But, that then developed into this huge thing that was sort of... if you were an author... if it got featured on that, you were like, thank you very much, that means I'll get my next book published.
Well, I've made a lot of book millionaires, I've made a lot of booksellers, and I think at the height of that... Because Richard and Judy was on Channel 4 5 nights a week for 9 years. And at the height of that, I was responsible, my picks were responsible for 26% of all book sales in Britain. So it was a bit mad.
And that was before the sort of advent of Amazon and all that sort of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was actually.
You were actually making people go into bookshops and buy books.
And libraries, very important.
And then, you've produced the Soap Awards, which is another thing we're quite passionate about in this country.
Yes, I did. I started that, and it was my idea. I did the first 4 years of it, and then we got it taken away from us brutally for taking Rich and Judy to Channel 4.
But that's the nature of TV. But you never seem to be kept down by that sort of disappointment. You sort of then come back with something else.
Yeah, we've had the ITV slots on Saturday and Saturday morning for 14 years because we keep changing those up. We keep things going and popular like the best restaurants by changing the menu before people realise that they need changing, and we make them seasonal. So
it is an extraordinary career, but it didn't start out behind the camera, did it?
No. Well, actually, it sort of did and didn't. It was like consecutively. I did drama at university, and I was desperate to be a presenter, and that it went on and off, but it was just kind of. Presenters don't work all the time, and when I started, because I left uni in 1984, there were only 4 channels, and it was just, it's really, really hard out there. But I did all right. I had a few of my own series and stuff like that. So.
But it was also it was a different time as a woman in TV as well, wasn't it? You were either a weather girl or to be a sort of leading light or the front of something as a woman really wasn't hard. A thing then, was it?
But also I had my own ideas, and we produced, probably the best show, or the most favourite one, was my own format, which I did with my husband, which is called Follow Your Nose, which is a kids' game show. And that was, everything was me. But what I used to get told all the time was, are you a producer or are you a presenter? Because you can't be both, and especially being a woman, you couldn't be two things.
How has that changed?
So, yeah, completely. Thanks, Reese Witherspoon.
The bit in the middle of that I love is the bit where you kind of got slightly disillusioned with the whole world of TV.
Yeah.
So you decided to sod off to Germany and sing in a band.
That was really early on because I left university in 1984 and I was very lucky. I was taken straight on by Central Television in Birmingham. And I was the youngest ever trainee, and they'd never taken anyone on who wasn't with union cards. And in those days, you couldn't touch anything in studio without someone having the right union card, and people would go on strike, and if you touch the wrong thing and all this kind of stuff. And so I had a pretty miserable time because the men tried to stitch me up all the time. And the first show I worked on was a kids' Saturday morning show called Saturday Starship with Bonnie Langford and Tommy Boyd. And I did make and do items and cookery items. It's my first cookery show. I wrote a thing called Revolting Recipes.
Did you see Bonnie Langford was at the BAFTAs?
Yes, I did.
How good does she look?
Oh, she looks amazing. Yeah, she looks really amazing.
Because I remember her on Just William.
Oh, God.
I mean, you've got to be of a certain age to remember her on Just...
Yeah.
I'll scream and scream and scream until I'm thick. And now she's this sort of... You know, I mean, surely she's got to be a dame soon, hasn't she? Yeah,
I should hope so. But then she was really, really young. I was really, really young. All I wanted was a show reel of my items. And bless her, we've had this conversation since, so it's not awful. She did mess up my make and do items every week because it just wasn't her. And she kept buying me these presents and going, I'm really sorry. And I go, I just want a show reel. I don't want a present. But she was lovely, really, really lovely.
So back then, Saturday morning TV was geared to kids. So I grew up with Swap Shop and then Live and Kicking and then SMTV with
I worked
Ant
on
and Dec.
all the ITV versions of that. I did Gimme 5. I did items and stuff on Gimme 5. I did a show called, oh God, was it Motormouth? I
remember Motor with Gaz Top.
Yeah, no, that was with that. I worked on that as well. That was a travelling one on a train that went round England with Charlotte Hindle. I can't remember what it was called now. Ghost Train. Yeah, I worked on that. Yeah, for 3 years, and I can't remember the name.
Had an incredible mullet, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He did.
I mean, only rivalled by Pat Sharp.
Yes, but it was the thing at the time.
It was. It was. I never had it.
They're coming back. Don't go there.
No, they have come back, and the mullet is an awful haircut.
No, don't go there.
It doesn't matter what decade you're in. Don't do it.
No, don't ever.
So.
Sorry, this is just like, it's calling me.
We've got something here on the table.
I love champagne.
We have something on the table.
Cold and fizzy.
Well, it's still fizzy.
Really
It should still be cold. Why don't you have a sip of that?
I will, thank you.
In your questionnaire that everybody answers before they come on the show, that was definitively your favourite drink.
Absolutely. Some of my best, most erotic, most celebratory, most wonderful moments of my life have been fuelled by champagne, but it has to be fizzy. Fizzier the better, and really cold.
And is that hitting the mark, that one?
I'm not going to tell you anything other than it is completely delicious. It's a very good champagne, a really, really good champagne. No, it's very lovely.
Could be a little
bit fizzier, but you know, it's delicious. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Good. Well, hopefully you will have a positive association with this glass of champagne and what we're doing here today.
Absolutely.
Now, as regular listeners and viewers know, before coming on, the guest fills out a questionnaire.
Yeah.
I have to say, you win the award for the most comprehensive answers ever.
See, I'm a producer. I'm a producer. I want to help people. I want to be an enabler. That's what I do with all my shows.
But I mean, the amount of information, I was like,
was it too much?
God, what are we going to feed Amanda?
Oh, God, I'm really sorry.
But given your day job, there's quite a lot of pressure on everybody here.
I did it quite late at night. If you look at the time the email came through, it was quite late.
Don't get me wrong. You were fantastic, and the questions and the answers to the questions were brilliant. But you know, obviously, we feel, as with our humble little podcast here and the team downstairs who prepare all the food, it's like Amanda Ross is in. There's a certain amount of pressure to get this right. You know.
Thank you.
So we have put together a couple of things, and one of the first things I want to pull out here is this.
Oh no!
Tell me about that. What have I put in front of you?
That is a cheese and Branston pickle sandwich with white bread. Yeah.
Now, when my father used to make us sandwiches, we always knew it was a dad sandwich because it had that in it, which was the thumbprint.
I'm not going to eat that one.
No,
now,
that's my half. To be fair, my hands are all over that because I made that for you.
Oh, thank you.
That is made by my own fair hand.
Considering you were very highly trained and very highly skilled, I'm sure you did wash your hands before you made it.
Tell us the story behind the Branston pickle sandwich.
Well, growing up, we didn't really have much money. We couldn't afford school dinners, and I don't think there were free school dinners in those days. So I used to go home for lunch every day until I was 11. And then when I went to big school, I had to have sandwiches. And I used to have the same sandwich every day. And I had the same sandwich every day for about 2.5 years until a very unfortunate incident. I've always been really keen on drama and dance, and there was a big show in the afternoon, and I had my cheese and pickle sandwich, and they threw it up all over the stage.
So you can't eat those now?
Oh, I'll eat it.
Come on, let's have a bite of this, because I think...
Yeah. I'm going to have to do that, though, because I don't like the crust, so I'm going to go like that.
It's perfect in its simplicity, the cheese and pickle sandwich.
Do you know what? You've chosen the best form of... If you're going to do this sliced white bread, you've got to do the cheap, squidgy stuff.
Oh, God, that's good.
It's good.
It's a good sandwich, that.
It is a good sandwich.
Washed down with champagne. I mean, what's not to love?
Anything washed down with champagne.
Yeah. So, but you grew up on a small holding.
Yes, I did. In South East Essex, in a place called Pitsea.
Is that similar to Marcus Waring's small holding?
Oh, God, you do watch Saturday Kitchen. No, it couldn't be further away from Marcus Waring's Saturday small holding. Our small holding was a proper small holding. We were practically tinkers. We lived on a hilltop in a place called Pitsea, which was a pit by the sea, overlooking the creek and the estuary, the Thames estuary. And we had rabbits and chickens and grew our own food, and it's about an acre, and I could have any pet I wanted.
So far, it's sounding very much like Marcus's small holding.
No, Marcus's is rather more expensive, and we have a joke with Marcus every Saturday morning, because we do say, in inverted commas, Marcus's small holding, because of course it's not. It's a bloody great big mansion with everything beautiful. I think his duck house costs more than the house I grew up in.
Well, I mean, I'd live in his duck house
I'd
quite
live in
happily.
his duck house too.
He is a chef of great stature.
Oh, he's amazing. I love Marcus.
You know, he is an incredible cook. I mean, just and like
I've had
like
some
many of the people that you have on the show. They've been doing it for a long time, and they're really, really good at it.
Yeah. We do have lots of really, really, really good new, but what I really try and do on the show is I try to champion new people, find new people.
Although, am I correct in saying Bryn Williams has appeared on it more than any other chef?
No, I think the top one is actually Theo Randall.
Is it Theo?
I think Bryn is second. Theo's 52 or 3. And Bryn's like...
But I mean, both lovely
both
men,
amazing.
great cooks. I mean, I
really
love Bryn.
Am I drinking this too quickly?
No, you carry on. There's plenty more where that came from. Keep swinging away at that. Right, I'm going to get rid of the cheese and pickle sandwich, because there's still plenty more to eat.
Thank you very much.
And I'm going to move on to the subject of books.
Okay.
Now, obviously, you have...
Cookery books or books?
Well, just books.
Okay.
So you have the history of the Rich and Judy Book Club, which you turned into this sort of mega business that really did affect the world.
I've never made any money out of it, though, and that's my husband's big annoyance. Because I editorially want to talk about books on telly, you're not allowed to make any money out of it. And so back in the day, people, because they wanted to be on it, they used to send me their novels wrapped in things like Eurostar tickets or tickets somewhere else, and I'd just send them all back.
I know, and you must have all sorts of people, both chefs and authors now, given the day job, who try and charm you, should we say, into perhaps featuring them at some level, because the show we're talking about is, tell me, it's...
The current one.
Yeah, the current one
Between the Covers.
Between the Covers, which Sarah Cox presents.
Oh, she's amazing. I absolutely love Sarah.
But
Championed her to
you
be
are
presenter
taking
from the
it
beginning.
on the road.
Yes.
And this is the reason we are talking today.
Oh, thank you.
You are taking it on the road as a
Yeah.
live show. The first one is June the 1st at the Richmond Theatre.
I know, it's
Now,
very
the
soon.
difference is, what the listeners won't know is you're hosting it.
Yes, I am.
So you're going back in front.
Yes, I am. I mean, basically, we couldn't afford to have a host and a producer and everybody else going on the road. So I thought, well, people were saying, well, the logistics were proving really quite difficult as well, trying to get all the dates together and shuffle everyone. And I'm the cheapest person because I'm not getting paid. And also, I can produce it from the stage and I can do their job, and I've got to keep my timings right and everything, so that's why I'm doing it.
When was the last time you did that? Because that's a lot to take on.
Yeah.
And also you've got a panel that you need to corral. So
I've
we've
got
got
a brilliant panel.
Casey Ainsworth,
Yeah.
Joe Brand, Stephen Mangan.
Who's very hot right now.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is. He's with his Fortune Hotel.
Yeah, very hot.
And the author Joseph O'Connor.
Yeah, and a brand new author called Callie-Anne Bradley. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So you're on stage.
Yeah.
You've got your producer's head on,
Yeah.
which will be judging everything as it happens.
Yeah.
How do you judge yourself, though, when you're doing
You
that?
can't judge yourself. I mean, I think the worst hosts think that they can judge themselves. And you can't. Nobody's got any idea what they're like. They need proper producers to do that. But I'm lucky I've got a brilliant producer, Polly, who works with me, and she's going to be rehearsing with me before. But basically, I'm there and winding them up.
But hold on.
I've got questions, I'm winding them up.
You're the boss, right?
Yeah.
So Polly,
Yeah.
I mean, how good is the relationship? Can she turn around and go, Amanda, that was rubbish?
Oh, yeah. But I mean, unfortunately, we can't afford for Polly to come with us.
No.
I've got all that brilliant talent on stage. So I'm going to be doing that myself. But it's not about me. The stars of this show are the panel, because it's their opinions that's important. It empowers people to pick up books. And it's about the books. So, but I did, to see if I could do it again, see if I wanted to do it again, I did a session at a crime thriller festival last October with Mark Wogan, who's a really famous crime author now, but we were at university together, and he got a bit nervous before we went on stage because I'd set it up like a TV show, and because also I did 7 years on ITV of a series called the Crime Thriller Club, and Bradley Walsh hosted it for 3 years. It was a series of shows, and then it ran up to the Crime Thriller Awards, which were fantastic. It's a fantastic party.
But you do have a genuine love of books.
Oh, absolutely.
Yourself.
Yeah, really, really, really.
Now, I read somewhere that when you read a book, when I read a book,
Yeah.
it's lying in bed, propped up with pillows, and I manage maybe about 20 minutes. That's when
Yeah,
I do my
yeah.
book reading. But it does happen every
Yeah.
night. You're quite sort of structured about how you do it. You
Well,
like
I
to
have
sit
to
upright
be.
in a chair,
Well, otherwise I'll fall asleep. So
little plate of antipasti,
yeah.
and you also are known to love these, which are crisps.
I love a crisp.
Now, many
Well, I wonder
people,
what flavours
many
they
people
are.
would think
They look good ones.
The exec producer of Saturday Kitchen wouldn't be a crisp eater, but these are a passion for you. So
If
we've
you'd have
got,
brought them out earlier, I'd have put them in the sandwich, because a crisp sandwich.
Oh, I love a
my
crisp
God.
sandwich. We've got two types of crisps
Yeah,
here.
okay.
all right? One is my personal favourite, and one is your personal favourite.
I'm looking at. What do you want me to guess?
Yes.
Well, that's got like herby bits on.
Yes,
So I'm guessing that one's yours.
that is mine.
Yeah.
And
that,
what do you before you taste it? What do you reckon that crisp is?
Well, my favourite crisp, which is a bit of a guilty pleasure, is the roast chicken walkers, but they're
Which-
impossible to get.
Rarer
these days.
than hen's
Rare,
teeth.
you can't get them.
I looked everywhere for those, so
no,
I got
you
your
can't
second
get them.
favourite.
Truffle M&S?
No.
No.
Oh, God, hold on.
God. Sea salt and balsamic?
That's the one.
Yeah. There you go.
You only need to smell them.
See, I love a crisp, you see. You can give me anything,
You see,
practically. I'll probably love yours as well.
I love a sea salt and balsamic by Kettle Chip, and other people make them as well, obviously.
Not quite as well.
No.
Can I try
But
yours?
that's a great crisp. Now, can you tell what that is?
I'm going to do this properly.
A bit of a palate cleanse before going for the next crisp.
Stuck in my teeth. Well, it's a good crisp. Got a bubble.
It's
hot,
a great crisp.
Great fry.
What do we think that is?
Cheese and onion?
That is cheese and onion.
Yeah.
But that is
A very good cheese and onion.
that is a Keogh Irish crisps.
Oh my God, they're very good.
So
I don't normally like cheese and onion, but that's brilliant.
Exactly. So in Ireland, there are two crisps, right?
Really?
Tato, which are, I suppose, Ireland's version of Walkers, but they're better. Sorry,
I need to go to
Gary.
Ireland.
Sorry, Gary, but they are
I need
better.
to go to Ireland, don't I?
And then these ones, which are Keogh's, which is sort of Ireland's posh crisp.
Do you know what? I think I prefer those to that. You might have converted me to
Well, we've
cheese and onion. I used to hate cheese and onion.
We've still got, well, because it's not overly oniony.
No.
The oniony subtle. Because, like, if you go
What's
for
the herbage going on?
well, I think it's
Because
actually
it is
just
green.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of chivey kind of thing to give it a subtle oniony thing.
Excellent. Excellent.
But-
Trying those again.
Because if you have Pringles and you have the cheese and onion flavour
Yeah.
Pringle,
It's cheese and
Yeah,
chives.
sour cream and
Some
chive.
chives, yeah.
that is delicious, but it will stay with you.
No, it does.
However, they are delicious with caviar.
No, I haven't tried that.
Yeah.
But we are a Pringles household because my boys love Pringles. But I have
Sour cream
have
and chive
I have a crisp
Pringles.
cupboard.
Sour cream and chive Pringles with caviar. I mean, it's not that accessible as a dish, I grant you that, but if you're ever lucky enough to find yourself with a tin of caviar, sour cream and chive. So, crisps aside,
Yes.
you are responsible for... do you want to hold on to those, or should we move these out of the way?
Well, let's put them there,
We'll
shall
put
we?
them there for
Because
later.
we can go back
Yeah,
in case
exactly.
we need a palate cleanse because I don't know what's
Exactly.
going up.
You don't know what's coming next. But you are responsible for why the general public within the UK know as many chefs as they do. You're also...
I'm not going to say I'm not responsible for that because we do have more. We have 5 on every week, so it's
I know.
like, yeah.
But you're also responsible for, in no small part, keeping vast sections of the hospitality industry going, because if they appear on your show,
Yeah, they
all
do.
of a sudden people start booking their restaurants.
They do.
And therefore...
And buying their books.
Therefore, most chefs are desperate to get on your show because
Yes.
they know it will make a big difference to their
But we
to their
won't
day
have
job.
just about anyone.
I know.
We're very fussy.
And you've had some really big
Yeah.
names
Yeah.
over the years. Tell me, are the really big names the really difficult ones?
Sometimes, yes. But also, that's where Matt's brilliant. Or that's why whoever's hosting has to be a brilliant chef because they can't cook and talk. A lot of them can't cook and talk. And they stand there and they pontificate. And whoever's hosting goes around them and just like carries on cooking their dish for them. And it gets to the end and they're like, oh, yeah, there we go. Yes, look what I've made. Aren't I amazing? And they haven't done anything.
Now, I don't want to spoil the illusion here.
Yeah.
But obviously you are, when you're on that show, you're cooking live.
Yes.
And Matt is cooking live
Yeah.
and the guests are cooking live. And you're under time constraints.
Yeah.
And sometimes cooking doesn't go according to plan.
No, but that's the brilliance of live, isn't it? So
But
it's really good.
sometimes do the guests have to pretend it tastes nice when it
Never,
doesn't?
ever. My briefing with everybody before they start is you're the taste buds of the viewers. You have to be absolutely honest about everything you eat and drink. Never say
However,
anything isn't.
there's honest and then there's Mel B
Oh.
honest.
Oh, that was terrible. No, that's my briefing with them is you're the taste buds of the viewers. You have to be totally honest. And they don't. And that's it. You can't make something that pleases a whole table full of people, can you?
Because going way back to sort of when TV cookery started to change,
Yeah.
you had Ready, Steady, Cook. Right?
Never a fan of that.
No. And the interesting thing about that is, you know, from coming at it from a cook's point of view,
Yeah.
you'd look at it and go, I know that tastes terrible.
Disgusting.
That looks
Yeah.
disgusting. And that poor member
Is
of the
raw,
public
is awful. Yeah.
And that poor member of the public is having to go, oh, it's really nice because I won't name any chefs, but they're
And someone's
standing
saying
there.
in someone's ear, don't eat the chicken because you'll die.
So you keep it real is what
Oh, no,
you're
we
saying.
absolutely keep it real. It's things go wrong all the time. Only on Saturday, last Saturday, Donal hosted instead of Matt. And Michaela had to crawl underneath behind the counters because all of the burners went out, and she does that quite often. Sometimes they'll forget things and we'll have to cut away on something else so that she can go in and put in a lemon, or they've done this or done that. But I mean, the thing is, the chefs do get a lot of support because Matt, the host, and Ollie and Helen, who are completely brilliant, who I'm completely in love with them both, and
that's Ollie Smith.
Ollie Smith and Helen McGinn, my wine pushers.
Your wine pushers.
Yes, my wine pushers, who are completely brilliant. They all have earpieces in. But if you think about it, we've rehearsed everything. By the time we get to screen properly to time, probably about 4 times. And we've cooked it all properly through the day before. On the morning, we start at 6 and rehearse through, and we cook all the dishes to time then. We stop and start as we go along. So as a producer, my experience is you need to get everything in everyone's head as you go. But you have to stop then. So as I always say to people, if you're unsure about anything, stop it then and we get it right, because at that moment it's right in their head. The people who don't do very well, the ones that don't listen to me and go, oh, it'll be all right on the night, it'll be all right on the night. But what I say also to everyone is, it's live. No one at home knows what's going to happen. So don't tell them you've made a mistake unless it's funny. And then if it is funny, or that's it, do it. But people love it when you go, oh, I've forgotten the lemon, I've forgotten this. But in Matt's ear, there's a brilliant script supervisor called Silvana, who not only is keeping everything to time, she's got a note of everything. So she's literally in the gallery going, lemon in next, time in next, do that, grate this, do that. He's also got my series producer and me telling him what's coming up. I'm giving him gags and things like that. So it's like, there's a lot of support, but it's also very difficult to listen to all of that and keep cooking and talk to people. They do get a lot of help.
But I mean, it needs a lot of help because it's a difficult gig.
I think it is the hardest presenting job on television. And, you know, we do a lot of different shows. We do game shows, we do music shows, we do chat shows a lot. And it is the hardest hosting job, I honestly believe, because it's live, which is hard. And the worst sin with live is you can't keep to time and things like that. So you've got to keep everything to time. And they're cooking and they're talking and they're interviewing. It's very hard.
If you go back nearly 18 years to when it started, it was quite different. I mean, your original presenter, you had a whole raft of presenters.
No, when we started, I did have one. I just have one because we got the gig because Anthony Warrell Thompson defected to ITV.
Right.
And he gave the BBC just 4 weeks' notice. And the production company that were doing the Saturday and Sunday mornings...
That worked out well for him, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And then... so the production team had Saturday and Sunday morning. So the BBC put out to tender Saturday and Sunday morning, and you had to have a studio really to go for it because you had to say, I'm going to get on air in five weeks. We were doing Rich and Judy at the time. The commissioning editor had just come from me from working 2 years as a senior editor, amazing woman called Alison Kirkham, who now works at Apple. We bid for both Saturday Kitchen and Sunday Brunch, and we won both tenders. But the BBC said to us, we're never going to do that again. We're never going to be, stabbed in the back by a company that defects and we've lost both shows. So you have to choose. So we chose Saturday Kitchen, and I'm so glad we did.
Yes.
But the thing is, yes, it has evolved. Yes, it's different. Yes, there were concepts that we decided from the beginning, like Heaven and Hell as the thing that stayed.
Which we've sort of nicked for this.
I know, but I don't mind.
But we won't mention that.
Yeah, imitation is flattery.
Having interacted with so many great chefs in this country, whose food do you actually like eating?
Different people on different days. At the moment, my favourite eating out experience is probably fowl, because I love a bit of fried chicken, well, with Will and Jack, or fallow, because it's great. I've got great hopes at the moment for Thomas at Mountain, people like that.
It's a
Angela
great restaurant,
Hartnett,
that.
it's great. I'm trying to work out how to put him on telly, because it's all about the provenance of the food. So he's been along. He's one of my training little things like that.
Now, it's interesting. you
Yeah.
mentioned fowl,
Yeah.
because as they say, and I say about my own wife,
Yeah.
you can take the girl out of Essex.
Is she an Essex girl?
She is.
Oh.
But you can't take the Essex out of the girl.
No.
So when it came to guilty pleasure,
Yeah.
yours was fried chicken.
Yeah, yeah.
And down here, I have a
You haven't
little
got something that I won't be able to eat
No,
anymore.
I have.
that-
I've got something. Now, the boys at
hilarious.
Fowl, the boys at Fowl,
Oh my God!
I got onto
The
them,
best.
knowing your love of all things fried chicken.
I thought for a horrible moment you were going to do Kentucky.
And Ricky from Fowl very kindly dropped this up. Now, for those who don't know, Fowl is...
The
best.
best.
I say you can take the girl out of Essex, but quite
You
frankly...
have it with Fowl.
We're not
You really have. We're not talking about
We're not
Essex fried
talking Essex
chicken.
here. This
No.
is St James's fried chicken. St James's in London fried chicken. So I've got some Fowl tenders there for you.
But I have to say, that's the brilliant thing about Fowl. It is actually reasonably priced. It's not at all a rip-off. It's like you can go to high street places and it won't be that much more. And it's just so well done. And everything about it is just brilliant.
When the boys from Fowl were on Saturday Kitchen, and the first time they were on, they did really well.
Oh, they are my project, my current project.
They're just great.
They are stars. They are completely. I take all
what they
all
do
my
with
sort of
food,
like
with
eat
Fallow
out dinners
and
now
their new
then.
restaurant Row.
Yeah.
It's just clever. It's
I
clever.
haven't been to Row yet. Got to get to Row.
And what I also love is, if anybody wants to look it up, is there.
You can't put that in front of me.
You've
Not
got to
let
eat
me
it. You've got to eat
Oh,
it. Look, I've
God,
got
yeah.
all the sauces here as well. We've got all the sauces. Look, what I love the packaging as well. You open the box up, and then it just opens up for a sort of sharing thing. Look, we've got their chicken salt there, which is so good, and the honey glaze. And then their little things,
that is so
little
good.
things of fallow sriracha.
But you see, that's not fried chicken. You know that every single calorie there is worth it, but it's
Now
really
we're going
not.
buffalo, blue cheese, koji, sriracha.
God,
What's your favourite dip?
Oh, I'm just happy with the naked, quite frankly.
I'm going to go
that
naked.
chicken salt is. I would love to know exactly.
They're so clever.
That's what it. Oh, God, it's amazing.
But it's also.
But if you can't
the
see,
the chicken fat tart tatin for pudding.
God, the
How
first
good
time
is
I
it?
had that.
Now you don't even like. You
I
were quite
hate
clear about
puddings.
puddings.
I hate puddings, but I didn't
my
have
God,
it.
that's good
Oh no,
fried
it's so
chicken.
good. But I didn't have it because we were there with my sons and they said, "Oh, you've got to have this," and I went, "I don't do puddings." So they went, "Okay, we'll bring half for one, and the boys and my son's girlfriend Elfie can have it." And they literally inhaled it, and they were like, "Mum, you've got to taste this." So I did have a spoonful, and it was really amazing. But I like to reserve my calories for alcohol and things like this.
But that's so good. I mean,
It's just off the scale. So they do these brilliant collaborations, and they've done it with some incredible people, and some of them have hit the headlines where they had a pie with a foot coming out. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I did. I like that.
That was good. I'm sorry, I just can't stop eating it.
I like a pie that shows what's in it. Do you remember Mark Hicks's Stargazy pie?
Oh yeah, that one.
Won the Great British Menu.
Yeah, it did.
And here at the Mount Street restaurant, they do the lobster pie, which is very good. And you've got a little lobster head poking out of that. It's good. But do you know what? I'm going to put the lid on.
Yeah.
Because you've got a little bag down there. What have you brought with you?
I bought you some of my olive oil.
Oh my God! Now, for those who don't know, this is like
Gold dust.
liquid gold. This.
All the chefs love it. I recently had a batch stolen, so I had like hardly any left because it was stolen from Italy before it was
Now,
shipped
you're
over.
not making this on a small holding in Essex. Let's be clear.
No, in 2003, we weren't. I mean, we were going through infertility treatment and all that kind of stuff, and I needed to do a diversion. And we love a project, and we love renovating houses and stuff. And we were fed up paying for lots of holidays to places just for the two of us. That you get there and you have to hire somewhere for 10 or something. I don't know. So anyway, in 2003, we bought a property in Italy, and it's my dream, and I've done it up with my heart, and lots of people, lovely people have come
Now,
to
did
stay
it
with
come
me.
with an olive grove?
Yes, it did, but it had been uninhabited for 60 years, so it's completely organic. There's a whole hilltop overlooking the Tevere, the Tiber Valley. It's very shallow earth, and we get great olive oil. But
Is this for me?
yes, it is.
Oh my God.
But Ottolenghi wanted to buy that batch there to sell in his delis, and he said he'd sell it for rather a lot of money.
Now, my dad did Saturday Kitchen for you
Yes,
once, didn't he?
yes, he
Years
did.
and years ago. And he loved it. He
I
loved being
him.
on it.
Loved him. I mean, everybody, it sounds awful, but everybody, for me to say it myself, but everybody who comes on Saturday Kitchen loves it. Because what's not to love about? You arrive, you sit down, you're briefed. We never stitch anyone up. It's like we do what we've said we will. We give good plug. We plug what they've come on to, and we feed them amazing food by incredible chefs.
Not dissimilar to this show.
No, I think.
But
we've
there
got a
is
lot
the
in
slight
common.
edge, and we are approaching that time, Amanda. So I'm
gosh.
going to have to move the
Okay.
fried chicken out of the way because we
But
have...
thank you for that, and thank you, boys at Fowl, Jack and Will. That is exquisite.
Well, they're very good at what they do, and they very kindly delivered that over. Ricky brought that over today. So I'm just going to move
that's
those
so
out of the
lovely.
way because
Thank
we've
you.
got to that time in proceedings. Johnny, could you take those without eating them because those are Amanda's?
Oh,
All right?
thank you.
Don't think you can get away with that. Right, and the chicken salt. Here, put the chicken salt in your bag.
Otherwise, that's your bag. I've got more presents for you there.
Okay. Oh, more presents.
Yeah, more
Well,
presents.
We'll get to those in a minute.
Books.
Now, I had no idea that you would be wearing leopard print, but you are someone who loves their clothes.
Yeah, I do.
We have
We bonded
we
over
bonded
that.
over that.
Yeah, we do. You love yours
The last
too.
time I saw Amanda, she was wearing a fantastic vintage Patrick Cox.
I was. That's
jacket,
true. Yes, I was.
which was stunning.
Well remembered.
That was at the Fortnum and Mason Awards, where if you are Amanda at an event like that, you have to hide in the corner because the
Yeah.
world and his wife is there, just
Yeah.
trying to sort of sidle into your view in the hope that they might be able to get you in conversation and suggest that potentially they
Yeah.
could appear on some of your shows.
Yeah.
So you and I hid in the corner and talked.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
And I talked you into coming on this.
No, you
But there we
did.
go.
I didn't need much talking, so I couldn't believe you actually wanted me on it because it's an amazing,
Well, no,
amazing,
but,
illustrious
but-
list.
But you know, you're behind one of my favourite TV shows of all time. I watch every weekend. I love
thank
Matt.
you.
You know, he's been a guest on this as well.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just a great show, and it's inspirational. Sometimes it dictates what I cook at the weekend, as I'm
Thank
sure
you.
it does for other people. I have chosen this
Wow,
particular
it's
mask
perfect.
for you today.
It's great.
That is
Do you know
yours to
what's
keep.
so thoughtful about this mask as well? Because as a woman,
Eyelash friendly.
yes.
Well,
and I haven't got many
the
eyelashes,
lovely-
so I've got to be very careful.
The lovely people at Smug
Amazing.
watched that we were using these and sent us a whole box of them.
Brilliant.
So I've got loads of those now.
Wow.
So that is yours to keep. I've even
that-
kept the packet that it came in,
Thank
so
you.
you can transport it securely.
Great. Marvellous.
So
I've just
it
put
is
on.
time to put that on because it is time for your first
Okay.
spoon.
Okay.
And there's no cheating. We
No,
need
I won't
complete
cheat.
blindness.
I am. I mean, I'm practically blind anyway. So
now obviously
there we go.
we've nicked an idea. It's an adaptation of an idea you've been doing
I
for
don't care.
years.
Yeah, I don't care.
And I don't know whether you in future want to blindfold your guests.
No,
but-
I like to see their reaction.
But I'm just going to slide this first one across to you here. Okay.
Oh God, is it going to be messy? Do
No,
I
no,
need
it's
to do
not going to be
this?
messy. We're going to keep it clean. We're going
Okay.
to keep it clean. And I just need something else from down here. So we are going to get a little spoonful of this. I'm going to make it a delicate mouthful for you. There
Okay.
we go. A little bit of that with it.
Oh God.
Okay, so here we go. Open wide. Here it comes. Tell me what you're what you're tasting.
Vinegar.
Vinegar.
Cockles.
Cockles. Take the mask off. She spotted
Yeah.
them straight away.
Anyone would think I worked
Now
on a food show.
these are Jamie Shears.
Ah.
Cockle popcorn that he does
Ooh.
as a bar snack here at the Audley pub, which is under the Mount Street restaurant. But you, again, going back to your Essex
Yeah.
route, you love cockles just doused in vinegar.
Absolutely. But it's got to have a bit of white pepper, but they can only be like that.
Well, there's some in the batter. There's
I
a
know,
little
but
bit of
these are cooked like that with batter because the best cockles in the world come from Leigh-on-Sea in Essex, straight off the boat. And if anyone, I haven't been there for years, but the boats come up straight up with a piece of a plank, and they come with these buckets and things on their shoulders, and they get them in, and then they put them in the boiler, and you have them straight off, and you have them with white pepper and vinegar, and there is nothing in the world like them. And when I first left home,
I do.
No,
love
these are really good.
I
don't know. I haven't been to Leigh-on-Sea or Essex for a million years, and they probably don't do it like that anymore. But also growing up, because my granddad used to take me out on, because in the Thames estuary, the tide goes out for miles, and you go out and dig up the cockles and then come back, and we'd put them in a tin can and burn them ourselves on the beach. But that, I don't think you'd be able to do that either anymore.
There's probably some health and safety thing will stop you doing that.
No, they're good.
They're good, aren't they?
Make me want to come here now.
No, well, you should come here. It's a very good restaurant. So you're happy with that spoon?
I'm happy with that one, but I did what a lot of people don't do when they come on our show. I was very honest about what I don't like, so I'm very nervous about the next one.
Well, no, I mean, look, we aim to change opinion, not to traumatise. Although,
okay, so I'm not going to be allergic then.
On the odd occasion, we have traumatised.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, but you know, you're a very important person in the industry, so I'm going to try my best not to upset you.
Do you want to cook on Saturday Kitchen?
Well, what can I come up with? A bit of pizza here and there, you know.
Oh, come on, you're really good.
But you love those.
Yeah,
I love those. And I think, you know, it's one of those things that I'm really glad to see something like that on a menu here.
Yeah.
In the middle of Mayfair, which would be deemed perhaps not necessarily luxurious food.
No.
Now, you've got a thing against oysters. You don't like oysters, which I love, because you're saying...
I just think it's sort of a bit of a waste, really, because it's like, it just tastes of, if you do it like you're supposed to do, and people have tried to teach me how to eat them, and I'm not really very good at eating them, you swallow it, and it's like a bit of salt water, and it seems like a bit of fuss over nothing, really.
It depends on the oyster.
Yeah, but the only good oysters I've ever had, Nicholas Ekstedt does the...
So a low bar, then?
Yeah, really. Oh, God, isn't he amazing in every sense of the word? Nicholas Ekstedt is amazing. And I took Grace Dent. She didn't... as a girls' night out, we went to Nicholas Ekstedt's, and it wasn't meant to be a review. And she loved it so much, she ended up reviewing.
Can I just say, from a chef's point of view,
having
you and Grace Dent in a restaurant, you'd be hanging on to the past for dear life, thinking, oh my God, those two together. Why would you do that to any chef? That's so unfair.
I mean, it's not much of a risk with Nicholas, though, is it? Really?
No, I think he's rightly probably pretty confident.
Except
in his
she'd
ability.
never eaten his food before, so.
And it is exceptional. I love what he
Yeah.
does. Now, it is time to put the mask back on, I'm afraid, Amanda.
Okay.
We've got to that point in proceedings. I'm going to move your favourite cockles away.
Okay.
And now we're in different territory.
I don't think you're going to give me oysters, because you talked about them, and that would be too easy. I think you're going to give me something more evil.
No. Evil?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Okay, here you go. Open wide. It's a slightly bigger mouthful, this one. Right, what have we got there? Tell us textures, flavours.
Well, the texture could be an oyster, but you've made it palatable, and you didn't say I had to go and swallow it in one without tasting it.
No, it's not oyster. It is from the sea, but it's not oyster.
I should have chewed it a bit more then. Can't taste it.
Well, take the mask off, because you've got another spoon. No, what you've got there is mackerel tartare.
Oh my God!
That is Jamie Shears in spoon
He's
form.
disguised it completely.
This is one of my favourite dishes that he does. He originated this when he was the head chef at 45 Jermyn Street.
Oh my God!
Look at that. Are you going for another one?
Yeah, I am, because it's mackerel, but not as we know it.
Yeah, so it's his mackerel taco that he does.
Oh my God!
So what you're saying is we have changed
You have
your opinion.
converted me totally.
Look, I have to say it's not me. That is down to Jamie.
Oh my God!
And it is a fantastic dish, that. So it's a mackerel taco. And you were quite resolute on your dislike of mackerel. In fact, all oily fish.
All oily fish, but mackerel was because I had too much of it as I grew up. It was like, go out near where we live and you literally put a safety pin in the sea and you catch one. And if you don't have much money, that's what you do. And also, my husband loves smoked mackerel and I can't bear it. I just really... That is incredible. It might make me revisit it. But I think maybe to be safe, the only place I can come is have his.
Well, I'm sure Jamie will be more than happy to have you back in the restaurant. And I can't tell you how happy I've been to have you on here today. It's been a real pleasure. I love what you do.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking forward to coming to see Between the Covers live.
Wow.
Where they start June 1st, Richmond Theatre.
Yeah.
And then we're at Oxford Playhouse, Nottingham Playhouse, Birmingham Town Hall, Reading Concert Hall and Brighton Theatre Royal. You can get your tickets at betweenthecoverslive.com.
Yes.
So I highly recommend that because, as we said, you've got some great people on there. And if you love books, it is a great show. If you haven't seen,
it's an entertainment show that happens to be about books. People are fun and funny on it. I mean, Stephen Mangan and Joe Brand and Casey Ainsworth. Can't
Who's
go
not
wrong,
going to want
you?
to see them?
No, exactly.
Exactly.
I'm an enabler.
And you.
Well, I'm an enabler.
And you live on stage.
They won't come for that.
But thank you so much for taking part in
so much.
Spooning.
Thank you
For being so brave. And I'm very pleased that we've changed your mind.
You really, really have.
Yeah. Well, I say we, Jamie Shears.
Thank you and cheers.
Cheers.
Oh,
the champagne. All right, we'll get you some more
More
of that.
champagne.
But big thank you to Amanda. And don't forget, you can see Between the Covers live across the UK from the 1st of June. And get your tickets at betweenthecoverslive.com. That's it for Spooning this week. Oh, no, thank you.
Thank you.
No, but that is it for Spooning this week. I will, of course, next week be joined by another very special guest who will, of course, as usual, be cooked for by the talented Jamie Shears as we get looked after by the wonderful team here at the Mount Street restaurant. Also, for those of you who don't know, we are live as well. We're going out live too.
I know. I'm really excited about that.
We're at Pub in the Park across the summer. And I'm just going to look down now. You can get your tickets to that at pubintheparkuk.com. And you can come and see me do this live with a whole range of fantastic guests over the summer at all those events. And of course, you can watch this podcast on YouTube and get it wherever you get your podcasts from. And it's not important that you do this. Yes, it is. Leave a 5-star review and, of course, subscribe. But until next week, I would like all of you to stay beautiful.